On this episode of the Open in Indiana podcast, we're going to learn the importance of having a virtual assistant as a small business owner. Don't miss this episode. Welcome everyone to the Open in Indiana podcast, where we feature the people, places, and events that make Indiana a great place to live, work, and visit. Today, our guest is a local entrepreneur who just got started earlier this year, Dona Carlisle, owner and virtual assistant at VA on the Spot. Dona, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you, Ryan. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's bright and sunny and not too hot today.
And it's Friday.
Certainly. So Dona, let's talk first about how you help your customers as a virtual assistant.
Well, the short answer is that we help professionals free up their time so that they can concentrate on living their lives. You can look at any professional and know that and hear them say there are pain points in their business. Someone who seems to migrate to conversations that say, I can't get everything done, or I wait till the last minute to do this, or my business just isn't growing. These are the people that we love to help. We take away those pain points of office tasks that they dread doing so that they can live their lives or grow their business.
And so what is your background?
Well, I am an administrative assistant by choice. Many people get into the administrative assistant field to step up in the ladder. I enjoy helping people succeed. And I vowed early on in my career, which is over 40 years, that I was going to strive to be the best administrative assistant possible. And I think I succeeded in that. My last boss, I was at the company for 20 years, and I supported him for 17 of those 20 years. Every time he got promoted, he would take me with him, which says a lot for his confidence in my abilities.
And so how did you transition from a successful career there to starting VA on the Spot?
Well, I was working for a major manufacturer in Indianapolis who offered early retirement last year. When I took the retirement, I was not ready to retire, not near ready to retire. And then I started thinking, well, I want to go back to doing what I really love, which is just working behind the scenes, helping people succeed, watching them grow. And then when I told my daughters about it, I've mentored them and they've worked underneath me and they wanted to be in on it. So I thought, what a great legacy it would be to get this business started, mentor them as business owners, and then when I am ready to retire 6-7 years down the road, I'll give it to them and then I'll work for them when I want to.
And so, Dona, what is that feeling of knowing that you are truly in a family-owned and operated business?
Oh, it's wonderful. We are best friends, and sometimes I have to say, this is boss speaking, but most of the time we think the same way. We have the same ethical beliefs. We work the same way, which is very important. And it's wonderful working with my girls. I know that with them, they're like me. If I ask them to do something or tell them what needs to be done, I don't have to think about it again. I know it's going to be done, and I know it's going to be done right and efficiently and with as much speed as they can.
Awesome. And so, Dona, what do you wish you knew as a new business owner just getting started?
You know, there's a saying, you don't know what you don't know that you need to know. And that's pretty much the way I went into this. I've always been in the background, so I've worked for individuals, solopreneurs before, and so I've seen the workings from behind, but I didn't really get into the nitty gritty. And the one thing that I wish that I would have had as an administrative assistant is a checklist. You don't know what you don't know. If I would have had a checklist to do this, then this, then this, then this, then I wouldn't have had to backtrack like I did a couple of times and get things done. I've managed, but that checklist would have been really good.
And so before we tell our viewers how they can get in touch with you, do you have a customer success story that you'd like to share?
Yes, our newest client is a gentleman who started. He's a solopreneur, and he's only been in business for a little over a year. He has done all of the administrative work, and he's gotten to the point where he realized that if he was going to grow, he needed to work on filling his pipeline, and he couldn't do that because he was having to do the accounts payable, receivable, all of his website, everything was on his shoulders. And I was connected with him through a noontime chat that a local coach put on. And we were we went for several weeks in a row, and all of a sudden it clicked with him, and he says, we need to do a one-on-one and talk. And so we did, and he realized that he needed to take that first step. So he handed over his accounts payable, receivable, and it frees up a lot of time for him, as well as he knows that everything is going to be done correctly and coded correctly, because that's our thing, and that wasn't his thing. He's great at what he does, but the office tasks are not always something that we're good at. And even though business owners try to save money at first, which I understand, I'm a new business owner, I understand you want to save money, but then there comes a point where if you're going to grow, and if you're going to do what you love and what you started the business for, which is working for the clients, you've got to hand over some of that stuff so that you're freed up to do what you love. And you aren't going to be working till 2:00 in the morning because you didn't get accounts payable and receivable done that day because somebody else is doing it. So you're going to be able to go to your kids' games or go to the beach.
And so, Dona, for those entrepreneurs who are ready to get those administrative tasks off of their to-do list, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, one of the easiest ways would be to go to our website, VA on the Spot. They can also email me at personalva@VA on the Spot, and I can send them a link to my calendar. We can meet virtually and get to know each other. I am a firm believer in working with potential clients for them to get to know me personally as well as professionally. When a business owner is handing over something as important as accounts receivable, payables, or their social media management, they need to be confident that I am who say I am, and that I will provide the services that I say I will provide. And the only way to do that is to spend time. So the first thing that I do is ask them to schedule an hour Zoom conference with me, and we just get to know each other. I find out what they need, they find out what I do, and we find out some personal things about each other just so that we know each other and can jive. Now, there are times that I will talk with someone and they will say, well, I need this task done, you name it. And sometimes it's not something I specialize in, but I have a whole network of people that if I don't know how to do it, or I am not confident in our abilities to do it, I am not afraid to say, hey, there's someone better that can do this for you better. I'll get you connected with them, and I will connect them with who they need to be connected with.
Awesome. Well, Dona, thank you so much for being our guest today. And to all of our viewers and listeners, thank you for catching this episode of the Open in Indiana podcast. And to make sure you get our latest episodes, make sure to subscribe to us in Apple Podcasts, Google Music, and on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Open in Indiana podcast. This podcast is produced by Henry Marketing Group, LLC, DBA Open in Indiana. To listen to more episodes, visit www.openindiana.com/shows. Thanks for listening.